I mean, I want to talk about your law firm
Yeah.
also, because you are a renowned immigration attorney. How
You're
much
too
has
kind.
how much has the culture, like your parents coming over here, how does that impact you and you deciding to get into immigration law and being an immigration attorney?
Massively. So growing up, because I was surrounded by people who have gone through the immigrant experience, and a lot of my parents' friends have gone through the immigrant experience. So I've been witness to it from different facets. And I've always been surrounded by people of other cultures, and between my parents and their friends' experiences, but also because my parents worked for the airlines and I got to travel a lot as a kid. As a result, I was constantly being introduced to other cultures. And so that kind of was the formative part of it for me. And then when I got to law school, at the time UF only offered one immigration law course. I don't know if they offer more now.
Yeah.
But at the time there was only one. And so I took that course, I think it was my 2L year. And it was the only course in all of law school that I was consistently like 2 weeks ahead of my readings, because I just found it super interesting. And to the extent that like immigration law can make sense, because they say it's like second in complexity to tax, it made sense to me. Like I kind of got it. And so like I had to slow myself down from reading further ahead, because when I'd fall behind in all my other classes,
Yeah.
but then I like would be lost in the immigration law class. But like it just kind of clicked for me.
It clicked. And I mean, I would think that like because of that, your life experience and traveling around the world and having, like, knowing about how your parents came over when they were kids, like that must translate when you're working directly with a client who's either apprehensive about the process or they're trying to navigate the process. I mean, tell me a little bit more about that.
Yeah. So one of the things that I really like about practicing immigration law is that I feel like I'm having a direct impact on somebody's life, which also comes with it a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
To not screw up the person's life. But my background and how I grew up is a stark reminder of how big our world is and how different we all are and where we all come from. And there's a quote, and I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't remember it exactly, but essentially it's like, somebody moves to Germany, they don't become German. Somebody moves to France, they don't become French. But somebody who moves to America becomes American. And that's kind of how I feel about like my clients and the processes that they're in, and just trying to help them navigate this crazy world of immigration.
And so, like, just as far as like the people and your ideal clients, or just the clients that come to you, are you working with people from around the world, from every different country that you can think of, or is there? Tell me, like, is there a primary area that they're typically coming to you from?
So my top three, because I actually keep track of all the countries that my clients come from.
Yeah.
I think I'm at 30 something different countries right now, but my top three are Poland, Haiti, and Jamaica.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's kind of the mix, mostly Europe and like the Caribbean.
Yeah.
But I've had clients from every continent except Antarctica.
So, I mean, I don't know if are there any. Is there any?
Oh,
people
sorry.
that,
No, every client.
do people live in Antarctica? I don't even know if there's like a.
I don't think anybody that would be able to immigrate from Antarctica. So I think I've hit them all.
I should probably know that. It's probably like a dumb
I mean, I
thing.
think people live there, but they're on bases and things like that.
Yeah. There's no actual like settlements.
Yeah.
There's no cities.
Exactly.
Guess you can't visit Antarctica like and stay in a place like Milan.
Right.
That's very, very cool. I mean, like, so as far as the people that are coming from Poland, how is it that they find you? Because you have this Polish background, you're from there, your family's from there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it is word of mouth. I mean, a lot of it is like in the church bulletin and the Polish club bulletin and things like that. But I've grown up in the Polish community down here since I was 4, 5.
Yeah.
And so people know my parents and now know that I'm an immigration attorney. And so then they'll reach out to me. And even if it's not an immigration matter, they'll reach out to me because they have, a probate matter, so that then I can refer them out from there. Or, but they just know me from being in the community.
it's so important that like any like lawyers that are watching this podcast and to like understand like the marketing side of business. Like me and you met on Instagram, and that's how I remember. Like I was posting stuff. I think I can't remember how we reached out. I might have been at the time getting a lot of cases, and I was building a lawyer referral network. I can't remember, but I know we got connected there.
Yeah.
And I remember just seeing that you had this Mosaic law firm. You had just, I think it was right around the time you opened up.
Sounds about right.
So to like your primary area where you're getting cases, right? Your community and the people that know you, they like you, they trust you, and word of mouth. I mean, I don't think lawyers understand how important that is.
I think all of my cases in the last 6 to 8 months have been word of mouth community. Like and maybe somebody does a Google search, but I don't have Google ads turned on.
Yeah.
And so it's really been that or social media.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, right? And that's like another thing. Like people, I guess lawyers need to understand. There's so many different facets to marketing and how you grow your law firm. Because when did you open up your law firm? What was it?
It was February of 2022. So we're coming right up on 3 years.
On 3 years, and you didn't have a single case. You're like me. When I opened up my firm, I had 0 cases.
I had 0 cases. I went off on faith and hope and knowing that this is what I'm called to do. Something in the immigration space, and right now it's practicing immigration law, and I've also found a new love for like immigration advocacy, and reaching out to also people who have 0 connection to immigration or the immigration experience, and just trying to educate about what the process is like.
Yeah, that's tremendous. I mean, there's so many things I want to talk about, but like just talking about like the risk you took to jump, like, tell me, weren't you at a big law firm?
I was.
You were working and you took the risk of dropping everything to open up your own business.
I was there.
I know what it's like, but I want to hear from you, right? Why'd you do that?
I was at that firm for 11 years. Loved the people that I worked with, like absolutely loved them. Wasn't fulfilled by the type of work that I was doing. I was doing commercial litigation, things like that. I had started my career in immigration for the first 2 years, but that was, just coming out of the recession. And so then I was presented with the opportunity to go to this other firm, took it because it felt like the responsible thing to do. And at the time it was, but always kept immigration as like what I really loved. And so at a certain point, and the pandemic, I think, helped propel this, I realized I have a lot more of my career still ahead of me than behind me.
Yeah.
And to continue doing something that I'm not fulfilled by, I couldn't see myself doing that for the next 30 years. And so I finally just decided, and I worked with a business coach to kind of help get out of my own mind drama about it. But I finally decided that I need to put myself first in a way, obviously clients first, things like that, but I needed to do something that fulfilled me and that I was passionate about, and it's immigration.
Yeah, I mean, that, like, to me, that's such an inspiring story, and the fact that you got a coach, the fact that you took the risk, but that you recognize that it was the passion for doing something that you enjoy, right? As opposed to, okay, I can get the steady paycheck, I can make the bonus, I can get the health insurance, it's safe, it's comfortable, but it's not what I really want to do.
Well, and one of the things also, though, is like, but is it safe? I mean, they run a business. There's no guarantee.
Yeah. There's that aspect of it. Yep.
Of employment. And I also figured if this didn't work out, there are always options. I could always go back to a firm. I could sell my house and not have the mortgage. There were escape plans if I needed them.
Yeah.
But I almost kind of didn't give myself the option of having the escape plan, because this is what I wanted to do. And now that I've had my own firm, I really enjoy it, even with all the ups and downs of firm ownership. Yeah. Different types of stress than when you're somebody's employee. But I've really been able to show up in a way that feels authentic.